2025 isn't just another year for gaming. It's the one we're going to talk about for a long time. From small indie studios to the biggest names in the industry, everyone's bringing their best this year. Here are the 20 biggest games taking over 2025.
Yeah, we sure cause a lot of explosions.
Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is one of the biggest remakes of 2025. It rebuilds the classic MGS3 from the ground up, keeping its Cold War jungle stealth while giving it modern visuals, new sound design, and updated controls. You play as Naked Snake, sent on a mission that quickly turns into a story about betrayal, loyalty, and survival. The remake adds a new control style for smoother play, while still keeping the original layout for fans who want that old-school feel. Everything about it looks and sounds modern, but the spirit of the original is still there. Snake Eater Delta isn't just nostalgia, it's proof that stealth games can still feel cinematic, tense, and unforgettable in 2025.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. She'd double-cross us like this.
We will use the legacy to heal that rift and make the world whole again. To do this, we need strength, an unstoppable trump card with enough power to bring order to the world.
She's waiting for you there.
We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. I've been waiting, Snake. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
The bar is closed, but I don't think anyone will ask us to leave. Come, join me.
What is all this?
Magnificent. Don't you think?
Our work is to save them, not admire them.
People listened to music once and told each other stories. Unfortunately, the whole thing was not preserved.
Don't shoot!
This is how I do my own part in saving them.
Chronos The New Dawn is one of the biggest survival horror games taking over 2025. You play as the Traveler, moving between a destroyed future and 1980s Poland, using time travel to uncover what's left of humanity. Combat mixes melee and gunplay, but focuses more on timing and awareness. Monsters can merge if you don't take them down properly, so every fight feels tense without being over the top. Ammo and resources are limited, so planning ahead matters. The environments switch between dark sci-fi ruins and old Eastern European streets, giving the game a grounded but eerie feel. It's not just another horror release. Chronos The New Dawn stands out for how it blends survival, mystery, and atmosphere into one of the most interesting horror games of 2025.
A circle must be complete to what? There's always a trigger.
Good luck, Indy.
Legends say these relics hold a force that could change the course of history.
You're messing with powers beyond your control.
You're good at this, Mr. Jones.
I know enough to get me into trouble.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is one of the biggest action-adventure games taking over 2025. Developed by Machine Games, you play as Indy himself, chasing a global mystery set in 1937 between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade. It blends first-person gameplay with third-person exploration for climbing, puzzles, and cinematic moments. The whip returns as your all-around tool for traversal, combat, and solving puzzles. You can mix stealth, melee, and gunplay depending on how you want to handle each situation. The Great Circle doesn't try to change what works. It focuses on giving that classic Indiana Jones feel with modern controls and stunning visuals. a perfect mix of nostalgia and new energy for 2025.
Lord Rosfield, I've been looking for you for a very long time. I'll tear you apart with my bare hands! Try it. Now die! You're not the only one who's seen their world fall apart around them. I thought I was ready for this.
I know, but we will face it together.
We were talking.
Let's shut him up.
I am a shield of Rosaria, and I will do my duty. Come on, Ifrit. Show us your true power.
Final Fantasy XVI is one of the most phenomenal games of 2025. Developed by Square Enix, it takes the franchise in a darker, more grounded direction while keeping the epic scale the series is known for. You play as Clive Rosfield, a soldier caught in a brutal power struggle between nations ruled by powerful icons. The combat's gone fully real-time and it feels incredible, fast, fluid, and cinematic. You can chain sword attacks with magic and icon powers that light up the screen without losing control of the fight. The world of Valisthea is stunning, full of political conflict, emotional storytelling, and boss battles that look straight out of a movie. Final Fantasy XVI proves the series isn't just surviving in 2025. It's evolving, and doing it better than almost anyone else. Lies of P Overture is one of the biggest expansions coming in 2025. It's a prequel that takes you back to Krat before the city collapsed and shows the events leading to the Puppet Frenzy. The gameplay keeps the same tough, precise combat from the main game, but adds new weapons like the bow, claw, and gunblade. Enemies are faster, fights feel tighter, and you have more control over how to build your character. The city looks beautiful yet unsettling. Grand streets, old factories, and empty theaters filled with quiet tension. It feels familiar but heavier, like the calm before everything breaks. This isn't just extra content. Overture expands the story, deepens the world, and sets up what's next for Lies of P. It's easily one of the standout Souls-like games of 2025.
Listening to this song always reminds me of you. But now you belong to the past. Do you remember the time we all gathered to play this piece together? I never got to say farewell.
Silent Hill F takes the series somewhere completely new. Developed by Neobards Entertainment, it moves the horror from foggy America to 1960s Japan, in a small town slowly being swallowed by something unnatural. You play as Hinako Shimizu, a student trapped in a reality that keeps twisting between life and decay. The game leans less on guns and more on tension. Every step, every sound, feels like it could turn against you. It's visually haunting and filled with quiet, slow-burn horror that gets under your skin. Silent Hill F doesn't try to copy the old games. It builds its own identity. And that's why it's become one of the standout horror titles of 2025.
Enough already! Hinako, your father. Stop sugarcoating it! So cut the crap and apologize! To me! To Dooku! To Mother! Apologize for all the trouble you've caused us!
I do quite envy her, though. I can't believe it was her. I have to say, I'm rather jealous. Why her of all people?
Is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades. But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Ghost of Yōtei is one of the biggest PlayStation exclusives dropping in 2025. Developed by Sucker Punch, it's a follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, set in 1603 Japan, this time in snowy Hokkaido. You play as Atsu, a samurai-turned-mercenary out for revenge against the Yōtei Six. Combat is a big step up from Tsushima. You can dual-wield katanas, use long blades, or switch to chain weapons mid-fight. The enemies don't just stand there. They block, parry, and counter fast. It's the kind of game that rewards patience and timing, not button mashing. Visually, it's a huge step forward from Tsushima. The lighting and weather hit harder. Snowstorms, cold wind, and ash drifting through the air make every fight feel raw. It's set to launch on October 2nd, 2025, only on PS5. Hades 2 is one of the addictive games in 2025. Developed by Supergiant Games, it builds on everything fans loved from the first game, but expands it in almost every way. The combat is still fast and skill-based, but now there's more freedom. From new weapons and spells to branching paths through the underworld. The magic bar adds a new layer to combat, letting you mix melee attacks with magic in a smooth, stylish way. It's not just a sequel. It's a bigger, deeper evolution of what made Hades special. Supergiant's attention to pacing, dialogue, and progression keeps it addictive without feeling repetitive. Hades 2 officially launches on September 25th, 2025. After all the improvements during early access, this sequel feels ready to dominate 2025 as one of the biggest indie hits on a global scale.
Will shine so bright it hurts.
Let's flatten them, Witching.
The ramifications. Please leave me to consider what this means.
I can help. I can help.
Even the skull of Revol must worship the ground beneath your feet.
There's a lot to like about this part of Oceanus, don't you think?
While I was living, I could never have imagined anything like this.
Still fast asleep.
You look upon the oath of the unseen night after night, but do you understand the lesson?
Got something real special there.
To slay you. The first signs are really subtle. But over time, it becomes clear. The gift changes you, slowly consuming every little part of your humanity.
WUCHANG Fallen Feathers is one of those Souls-like games that instantly grab attention. Developed by Lianzi, it puts you in the shoes of Bai WuChang, a pirate warrior cursed with a strange disease that twists people into monsters. The world is inspired by late Ming Dynasty China. Dark, cold, and filled with tension. Combat feels heavy and demanding, mixing close-range swordplay with supernatural powers that change how you approach each fight. It's not trying to copy other Souls-likes. It has its own slower, more deliberate rhythm. Every encounter hits hard, and the atmosphere keeps you on edge the whole time. WuChang feels like one of those games that define the year. Tough, ambitious, and unforgettable once you survive its first few battles.
I can never rule as king, so long as you are the only one they fear.
Dune: The Dark Ages is one of the biggest games taking over 2025. This time, id Software takes the franchise back to a brutal medieval era, before the events of the modern Doom games, where the Slayer fights demons using both steel and firepower. The combat is faster and heavier than ever. You'll swing flails, block with a shield, and crush enemies with massive medieval weapons, while still mixing in that classic Doom gunplay. It feels raw and physical, like every hit shakes the screen. The scale is way bigger, too. You're not just tearing through corridors. You're riding dragons, piloting mechs, and charging into large-scale battles across a war-torn world. It's a bold shift for the series, proving Doom can evolve while keeping its signature chaos intact. The Dark Ages looks ready to dominate 2025 as one of the most intense and ambitious shooters of the year.
I can never rule as king, so long as you are the only one they fear.
Stronger than maybe even you.
We sure cause a lot of explosions.
Split Fiction is one of the biggest surprises of 2025. It's a co-op adventure from Hazelight, the team behind It Takes Two, and it keeps that same creative chaos. What makes it special is how unpredictable it is. One second you're solving puzzles, then suddenly you're in a sci-fi shootout or running through a fantasy world. Every level feels like a completely new game, and both players have unique powers, so teamwork isn't optional, it's everything. It also keeps Hazelight's friend pass, meaning only one player needs to own the game. That alone made it blow up fast among co-op fans. Since launch, it's been a hit, selling millions and getting praised for how creative it is. Split Fiction doesn't just join the 2025 lineup, it helps shape what co-op gaming looks like this year.
And then, they become a little bit bigger dragons with new abilities. But in the end, they grow up to be full-ass dragons.
Crap!
And now, you can fly around and kick ass. In another level, you play these ball droids that can magnetize and shift to different forms. And then, the droids become your exosuits. And you can now attack and hack different objects. Here's another one. You play as pigs, and they later become... Anyway, let's not talk about that level for now. And as always, with the Friends Pass, you only need to buy one copy of the game to play it with your friend online. That's what Hazelight is about. No loot boxes, no microtransactions, and no bullshit. You just get the game.
You have unpaid parking tickets. Time to die.
Excuse me? Run!
Monster Hunter Wilds is one of the biggest games dominating 2025. Capcom is taking the series to a new level with a fully open world, massive regions filled with living ecosystems, changing weather, and monsters that actually hunt each other. This time, you play as a hunter exploring the Forbidden Lands, joined by your Palico and a boy named Nada, whose tribe was destroyed by a creature called the White Wraith. Monsters no longer stay in one area. They move, chase, and fight across the map. You can ride mounts, craft on the go, and move seamlessly between zones without load screens. Even with some performance bumps early on, Monster Hunter Wilds has been a milestone for the franchise. Bigger, more ambitious, and easily one of the most talked about releases of the year.
Guild permission granted. Begin the hunt.
Understood. So.
Baby, don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you.
Death Stranding 2 brings Sam Bridges back into a world that's falling apart again. This time, it's not just about deliveries. It's pure survival. Storms hit harder, the ground shifts under you, and nothing stays safe for long. The world's bigger now. Deserts, coasts, and ruined cities stretch for miles, and how you move through them changes everything. Vehicles, gear, and the weather itself all play a part in how you survive. Combat feels tighter, too. You can switch between stealth or straight-up fights without breaking flow. It's faster, smoother, and more personal. And yeah, that weird mix of emotion and mystery, still pure Kojima. On the Beach shows that Death Stranding isn't done growing. It's stranger, bigger, and somehow even more human.
An old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Now, something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever.
The Outer Worlds 2 takes everything people loved about the first game and just makes it bigger and funnier. You're heading to Arcadia, a messy colony full of factions, shady deals, and weird sci-fi stuff gone wrong. Every choice you make actually matters now. Who you help, who you lie to, and how the world reacts to you. The gameplay feels smoother, too. Shooting's tighter, movements faster, and the new perk system lets you mess around with builds that actually change how you play. The humor's still classic Obsidian, sarcastic, clever, and full of jabs at space corporations that clearly don't care. It's dropping day one on Game Pass, and honestly, The Outer Worlds 2 just feels right. Funny, flexible, and the kind of RPG people are going to sink hours into in 2025.
And no, you can't sleep with them.
Borderlands 4 finally feels like a real step forward for the series. The chaos is still here, but everything's bigger, smoother, and a lot more fun. This time you're on Kairos, a huge open planet packed with crazy factions, random events, and non-stop firefights, all without load screens. The loot system's been reworked too. More guns, deeper skill trees, and new gear that lets you mix heavy weapons and support items in smart ways. It's still wild and unpredictable, but now you've got more control over how you play. Co-op's tighter than ever. Shared loot, smoother scaling, and easier drop-in play with friends. Borderlands 4 isn't just another sequel. It's the loudest, craziest shooter fighting for the spotlight in 2025. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is one of the biggest RPGs taking over 2025. You return as Henry of Skalitz, caught between war and revenge in medieval Bohemia. The world is twice as big as before, with new cities and stories that react to your every choice. Combat hits harder, but feels smoother, with new weapons like crossbows and early guns. You can also fight on horseback, switching between melee and ranged attacks mid-battle. Everything here feels grounded, from armor weight to stamina to dialogue. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 doesn't just show medieval life, it makes you live it. This one's easily one of the most immersive RPGs of the year. Hollow Knight Silksong is absolutely one of the biggest games changing the 2025 landscape. Hornet gets her own spotlight now. Kidnapped from Hallownest and dropped into a strange kingdom called Farloom, she's got new challenges, new powers, and a whole world to climb. It's classic Metroidvania, but everything feels upgraded. Movement's faster, combat sharper. You'll use silk skills, unlock different crests, and mix tools and strategies in ways the original only hinted at. The world's huge and interconnected. Forests, citadels, shadowy depths. Every corner hides secrets, danger, or lore that connects to Hornet's past. Silksong isn't just a sequel, it's a statement. It's the kind of indie game that's going to shake up how people think about Metroidvanias in 2025.
On my ship.
There will be consequences.
Now, make us proud!
She'll go far.
Hey! Get a room, will ya?
Take care of Aerith for me.
Fire!
Cloud, bring me the black materia.
Cloud, whatever happens, I'm here for you.
No!
It's crazy how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth manages to feel both familiar and brand new. Cloud and the crew are finally out of Midgar, stepping into a massive open world packed with towns, deserts, and hidden zones that make exploration actually exciting. Combat feels smoother, too. The synergy skill system lets you chain attacks with teammates, and everything flows faster. Dodging, switching, and timing your moves just feels right. There's a ton to do outside the main story. Side quests, monster hunts, even chocobo races, and none of it feels like filler. The world feels alive, every stop giving you something worth checking out. Rebirth doesn't just continue the remake story, it makes the whole thing feel bigger, deeper, and more emotional. This isn't just another Final Fantasy game, it's the one setting the bar for RPGs in 2025.
You should never for everyone.
No. She chose to come. I didn't make the rules between you two.
You're fighting to change things.
For those who come after. Right?
I thought I was used to losing people.
Yeah, me too.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is already carving out its place among 2025's biggest games. It's a dark fantasy turn-based RPG with a twist. It weaves in real-time reactions during battles, like dodging or countering at key moments. The story? Every year, the paintress paints a number, and anyone whose age matches that number is erased. This year, it's 33, and a new team called Expedition 33 sets off to stop her, to break the cycle once and for all. Gameplay combines classic JRPG structure with fresh mechanics. During fights, you pick your moves in turns, but you can also act in real time to dodge attacks, parry, or trigger extra effects. You also build your team with gear, stats, and synergies. This one's not just a niche hit. Its nomination lead at the Golden Joystick Awards and strong sales reflect just how big Expedition 33 is becoming. And that's 19 of the biggest games taking over 2025. But that #1 spot, or maybe even the game of the year, I'm leaving that to you. Which game do you think deserves it? Is it one from this list, or something completely different? Drop your pick in the comments. I want to see which title wins the most votes.